Hi guys, girls, he, she, theys, everybody. I'm gonna try and keep this intro short and sweet, but welcome to part 2 of making a necklace with me. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to do this creative, fun little piece. Hopefully, if you've followed all of the instructions, you'll be really proud with the piece that you've made at the end of this fun and creative journey. Let's get into the rest of this video. So back to our recording. Last time we checked, we had this little circle thing with our little key hanging off of it. The key shouldn't move at all. So now I'm just going to show you a cute little trick to add on the pendant. So I've got this little stitch here, which I've already crocheted the little excess thread to this so that key can't move and it's not going to fall off. I'm going to use my crochet needle to pull this stitch through the crochet. Now I've gone 2 spaces away from where the key sits, and we're just going to do like little, I think I'm going to do like 4 to 6 little links, and then put on the pendant that's hanging. I'll show you what I mean by links in a second. Now, when you cut the wool to tie off after doing this little circle bit around the little keychain, keyring thing, make sure that you don't accidentally let your pendants fall off the wool, because you're going to need those on your wall already for this next bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I mean by links. It's like little circles of wool that are like hooped through each other. And this is how you do that. So you have your little stitch here, you wrap the wool over and just pull it through, and you keep repeating that until you get like a little row of links. You can do as many of these as you would like. I'm going to do 6, 4 to 6, and then we'll crochet our pendant in. So this is our first one. This is our second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. Oh, sixth one. Now remember, when you're doing this, you are literally just wrapping the wool over and pulling it through to make a link. It's that simple. Now remember, when you're doing this, do not pull the thread too tight, otherwise you are not going to get able to get that stitch off of your hook. So now we're going to take our pendants and shuffle them back up to the top. Now mine's going to be a little bit fiddly. You might find this a bit fiddly as well. I'm going to make sure that this little moon pendant is sitting just in front of this little crystal. I'm going to wrap my wool over my crochet needle and pull that stitch through. Now that should hold that little moon pendant and crystal in place. That shouldn't move. You'll notice here we have some little excess tassel-y bits. You will see why in a minute. Now I'm just going to do another 6 links, and you'll see why we are doing that in a minute when we get back to this little space. So again, you just wrap your wool over your crochet needle, pull it through. That's all you're doing. But make sure you don't pull your wool too tight. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem when it comes to getting your thread off of the needle. So just keep it nice and relaxed, loose when you're doing the stitches. You don't need to pull it tightly because otherwise you're going to struggle to get those links off of the thread. It's just a simple wrap and pull through. That's all you're doing. Just keep repeating that. I'd say repeat it like 4 to 6, like 4 or 6 times, so that you can make sure that pendant is dangling nicely and it's not gonna fall off or come loose. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do one more link here just to make sure I've got it here. Now you can see this looks a bit funny. We've got this little hanging part and another part hanging off that. So now we've got that pendant stuck in place. That's not going to move. It shouldn't come off at all. We are just going to take our crochet needle and this little hole where our little excess tassels are, we're going to put our crochet needle back through that little hole where the tassels are, wrap once our wool around the crochet needle, pull it back through and pull it tight so that we can get that stitch as close to that little hole as possible. And then you're just going to wrap the wool round again, and like we did before, take those 2 stitches off. And you should see that pendant should hang. It shouldn't move. It should feel stable. It shouldn't feel loose. And it shouldn't feel like it's falling out of place. So now we're going to tie this off. And this is how you do that. So you've got this 1 stitch like this. Wrap your wool over the crochet needle, pull it through. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut off the string here, making sure you leave enough excess so that you can tie a knot afterwards so that our stitching doesn't come undone. So I'm going to cut it so we've got about this much left over, and just put the wool that we cut off to one side because we're going to need that in a minute. And now wrap that bit of thread over one more time and pull it through, and make sure you pull that thread all the way through so it looks like a little tassel. This bit here, pull it tight so that it makes a knot. And once you're 100% happy that that knot's not going to come undone, you should have 2 little tassel-y bits next to each other. We're just going to tie those together. I'd advise doing a double knot so that it doesn't come undone, and then cut off the excess. So once you've tied your two loose ends together and cut off the excess, you should have something like this. So you've got your little circle bit with your pendant hanging off, and if you chose to do this as well, your little key hanging in the center, and you should have this little knot here on the side. I'm going to quickly show you how to hide that little knot, and we'll move on to the next bit, which will be the actual necklace. So your pendant should hang something like this. So now we should be left with this. So you've got your little double stitch around your keyring with your links and your pendant. Now I'm going to show you how to hide this little knot bit here. Now, just as I showed you before, just in case anyone needed a reminder of how to start, take your wool, wrap it loosely around your finger twice, pull the back piece of your wool through the front. This may be a bit fiddly if you're working with more than one piece of wool. So there, you've got your back pulled through the front. It should make a little crossover bit. Take your crochet needle, pull the back through the front. Again, maybe a little fiddly. It might take a couple of attempts. And once you've pulled the back through the front twice, pull it tight till you get a little knot, and you should get a little stitch here. It's not too tight, and a little knot should be quite sturdy. It shouldn't come undone. Now we need to cover up this little knot that we have here. So I'm gonna start on this side. I'm gonna put my crochet needle through one of the links that we did earlier, preferably closer to our little circle thing here, and the double stitch that we did earlier, we are just gonna repeat that around until we have covered that little knot that we did earlier. So like before you wrap, you put the crochet needle, hang on, I've got myself in a pickle here because I've put my thread the wrong way through. So let me unpickle myself. Right, you got your stitch, you've got your wool. Wrap your wool once over your hook like that. Put your hook back through the hole, or through a hole nearest to you. Pull thread through. Wrap your wool over your hook. Take off 2 stitches. Wrap the wool over your hook. Take off those 2 stitches. And then you're just going to repeat that same step. Wrap the wool over the hook, put the hook through the hole, wrap the wool over the hook, pull the wool back through the hole, take off the 2 stitches. And that little excess tassely bit that we have here, just crochet so that the extra tassel-y bit is like covered in the crochet, so that when you're doing the crochet, the tassel is in between the stitches so that it doesn't stick out. And then this may be a bit of a fiddly trick at first, but once you've practiced it a little bit, you should get the hang of it. So I'm just gonna repeat these. The stitch that this is called a double stitch. We're just gonna repeat this until we get round and cover the knot on this side. So wrap through the hole, wrap, pull the wool back through. Wrap over the needle, pull off the 2 stitches so they go on the wool, wrap over the needle, pull back through. See how it's starting to make this funky little pattern? So we're just going to continue that all the way around here till that little knot is covered. Remember, don't pull your stitches too tight, or otherwise you will struggle to get the wool off of your crochet needle. Just a quick reminder in case anyone's struggling. Stitch, wrap once over the needle. Push the crochet needle through the hole that is nearest to the crochet needle. Wrap the thread once over the crochet needle. Pull the thread back through that same hole that you went through earlier. Wrap the thread once over the needle. Pull that thread on the hook through 2 stitches. Take them off. Then repeat that same step again. Wrap the thread over the needle once. Pull that thread through 2 stitches and take those 2 stitches off. Now, if you followed my instructions correctly, this part of your necklace should feel very soft and you shouldn't be able to notice any knots. And that key or little pendant you put here and this one shouldn't move at all. Now, I hope you kept those little chain links and the little clasp somewhere safe, because you are going to need those for this next bit. So I'm just going to quickly tie off this bit. I'm going to wrap this over once and cut off this excess thread, pull that through so it makes a knot. Now once you've made that knot and you're sure this isn't going to come undone, cut off this little excess. So if you followed the last steps, this is what you should now have. And as I mentioned previously, I really hope that if you're following these steps, you kept that clasp and those chain links, because they are now going to be a very important part of this next steps and the necklace. You will need to thread your wool through your clasp so that you can use it to seal or close the necklace so that it doesn't fall off your neck when you wear it. Now that step of threading the wool through your little clasp is very fiddly. You may find it a little stressful, so the best advice I can give you is give it a couple of attempts. If you can't do it, take a break, come back to it. If you still can't do it, maybe ask somebody to help you or continue it another time. Here are the next steps. So, Once you have got your wool through the hole in your clasp that allows you to attach your clasp to your necklace, we are going to crochet some more links just like we did before. Sorry, I have wool in my mouth from trying to get the wool through the clasp. So, bear with. Now we're going to crochet the next part of the necklace to add on to this bit so that we can actually wear this little pendant thing that we've made. Bear with. So, we have our clasp attached to our wool. Wrap your wool over your finger twice, ensuring you do it so that the wool is not too tight, so you can easily maneuver it. You can use your crochet hook if it helps you. Pull the back through the front. So yeah, pull the back through the front and pull it like up so that you get like a little loop, and then pull the back through the front again. Just show you that again really quickly so we can make sure we get it correct. Bear with. So wrap the wool once, twice around your finger. Pull. Make sure you do it loosely so you don't cut off blood circulation. Pull the back through the front and pull it up. And then pull the back through the front again. This might be a little bit fiddly when you're first starting. Take your finger out of the hole, hold the other end, and nope, that didn't work. Right. Try it again. Wrap the wool twice loosely around your finger. Pull the back bit of wool through the front. Then repeat that again. Pull the back through the front so you get a little loop and a hole. Take your finger out of the hole and pull that tight so that you get a loose stitch and a knot. And you want to make sure that that stitch is nice and loose so you can easily get your needle, crochet needle through it. Make sure that knot is done tightly so that it doesn't come undone. Now we should have something like this, a loose stitch that we can easily get our crochet needle through, a knot so that the stitch doesn't come undone, and the clasp should be in that knot, still attached to the wool, so we know it's not going to fall out. Now, if you are clumsy like myself, you may have quite a large little tassely bit. This can happen sometimes, it's okay. We're going to use this to our advantage. Wrap the wool once over your crochet needle, pull it through the previous stitch so you get a little link like so, and then just keep repeating that same step like so. And just do this until you get a nice little comfortable length. So I'd go long enough that I'd go from like the tip of your middle finger to about your elbow, or like just before your elbow, so like half an arm's length maybe, or like if you still have like the actual chain from the necklace, you can use that to measure the length of the links that you need to do. So I'm gonna do like 10 links and then check if it sits comfortably around my neck. So if you just need a reminder of how to do the links, you just wrap the wool once over the crochet needle and pull that through the stitch. And you just keep repeating that as many times as you want to, or in other words, would need to get the length of the necklace that you want. Make sure you don't do these too tightly though, otherwise you will find it difficult to get the wool off of your crochet needle, and the necklace may look a bit too thin for the pendant that we made earlier. So just keep it nice and loose and relaxed. It should have quite a soft texture to it. It should kind of almost look like the links when you do them should kind of look like a little plait almost. And you're just kind of gently pulling the wool through itself. Now you don't need to do this like the full measurement. You could do it like measure it so you put like the clasp at the back of your neck, and then just measure so that the stitch that you're doing should come to like just in front of your collarbone. So if you measure the distance between like the middle, the back of your neck, or like where the clasp sits, so put like where the clasp is at the back of your neck and measure that to like just in front of your collarbone so that it sits comfortably on your neck. You can do a couple extra if you want a bit looser, or you can do a bit less if you want it a bit tighter, but you can use like the chain from the previous necklace to measure, or just kind of measure it around your neck, or like I said before, fingertip to your elbow, so you can make sure you get it a comfortable length so that it's not going to be too tight when you put it on. Okay, I am like really running out of time for this, so I'm gonna have to make a part 3. And hopefully you've enjoyed the video so far. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next part. Have a great rest of your day. Remember to eat something, drink plenty. Make sure you get some sleep. Your body needs rest to function, and your body also needs food to function. It is very important to take care of yourself. So that's all from this episode. I will see you next episode. Bye!